how many rappers are rapping for the love of it versus the money?
It's true.
I think even Jay-Z said in like his Breakfast Club in 2013 about like, you know, once this shit became lucrative, you started getting people doing it just for the money, which is always going to diminish the art. It's always going to make it not be as good. Like,
I've always thought about that. Like, who's really here? Who's going to leave when the money's gone? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In like the rap culture, like, because I see like, especially like the SoundCloud wave and shit like that was like, I'm like, these guys, if punk was popular, they would be punk rockers. If you know what I'm saying? Whatever genre was popular at the time, it just happened to be rap. To me, so it's like they're gonna get their foot in because they want to be a rock star, live that lifestyle, be a musician, whatever. Fuck the rules. I don't want to get a real job. I've always felt like there were so many people just hanging on because of that, because the rap was the most popular genre at the time. So it's like now that they don't want to do it anymore because it's not as popular. Fuck it, leave. You know.
Well, I mean, again, it's like, you know, I empathize with people just trying to find a way to get out of their environment and circumstances, and it's like, look, this shit makes money, so I'm gonna do it. You know, but then that can be true along with, okay, well, when people start doing art for the money, there should be no surprise when the art suffers.
Well, it's the greatest Quincy Jones quote. He's like, when you think about money, God walks out the room. You know, when you're making music. I always think about rap as like the canary in a coal mine reflecting kind of the problems with the culture. And I think like it's not necessarily rap's fault or the rapper's fault, but more a reflection of like where we've gone. Because like I remember there was a Kanye quote that I always found really telling where, I don't know if you ever heard the EPMD song Crossover. So it came out like in the early 90s, and it was like, the whole point of the song was like talking shit about rappers that wanted to make like a crossover pop song, right? And it ended up being EPMD's biggest hit. You know, it was all over the radio. It was like the biggest hit, which is cool, right? It's a great song. And Kanye, I remember, was talking later on about like how he loved that song, but he's like, they're the dumbest. He's like, that was so stupid though. Crossing over is the best thing. And I was like, I mean, it can be, but like not if it requires like compromising like your art or what you find true to yourself, you know, and like
I mean, if you start doing shit for money, whatever you're doing is the quality is gonna suffer because you're not putting the quality of the thing first. You're putting the money first. So now you're about to make shit that you feel like is commercially viable. And at that point, you're making product. You're not making art. You're trying to make the shit that's going to sell the most.
In your career, were there moments where you had the opportunity to do that and you decided to go the other way?
Every day I walk into the studio is a moment to do it. You know what I mean? But I've never done it because I don't know. I love what I'm making. I love music so much, and I just honor my own taste so much that I can never go against my taste and authenticity for the sake of like, yeah, but this might be a hit though. What? I also just like the nature of this shit. Nobody knows what the fuck a hit is gonna be. You're gonna sit there and go make music for the money, thinking that you know what music is gonna make money, and that shit's gonna come out and not make money, and now the music's bad too. Like now you lost on all fronts.
So you would never make like all right, this is my commercial album, like set out like the full intention.
No, but I also, me and my boy were just talking about this. I always just inherently had, I guess, more pop adjacent taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like early on even, I was always doing big choruses and melodies.
Well, you were a big like 50 fan.
I was a big 50 fan, like G-Unit, all the melodic stuff, Eminem, so like, and then growing up in the house, like my parents playing big 70s ballads, you know what I mean? So like, I always liked that kind of shit. I was listening to Kobe Callier when I was 11, like, you know what I mean? Like Jack Johnson, like I loved melodies, but I also loved rap, and I loved the hybrid of it. So it was I never felt like I was chasing a pop sound. It was just naturally what I liked. I like shit I like catchy shit, and I like hard raps. You know what I mean? Just put it together.
Another one I liked was authenticity outlasts algorithm.
Yeah.
And what does authenticity look like to you, and what does it mean in your career?
Well, I think again with that, it kind of almost ties into the other thing too, is trying to just chase a trend and chase what you think is going to work. You're going to be chasing your tail forever, as opposed to what I've seen actually really work and what people are gravitating towards more than ever now is authenticity. Somebody who's just raw, real. You can just tell, maybe it's fake, but it's like, feels like this is really you. And it kind of cuts through because you can tell when somebody's just doing theater. and it's performative.
Yeah.
You know? And so for me, I'm trying to just get even more aligned with my taste and more like that. I was telling you before we got on, like just deleting social media off my phone this year and only logging in when I have something to post, you know, because I'm trying to block out all fucking possible influences of, you know, because you could just be scrolling as an artist and you see a viral clip of a new song blowing up. And even if it's not conscious, but subconsciously, you might be like, damn, so that's what works.
Yeah.
And maybe that comes out in the studio next time.
Right.
For me, I'm trying to get back to just, if I like it, that's enough. That means it is hard, because what I think is hard, and that's it.
So do you listen to other artists?
Yeah, but like right now, I just been listening to the songs I've been making, because I've just been going crazy, but I love listening to like up-and-coming artists. Like I love trying to find up-and-coming artists, because there was a while there where my playlist was just what it was when I was 17.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like Long-Term Mentality,
Right.
Absol, like The Marathon, Nipsey, and, you know, I'm like, damn, man, like, does all the new music suck right now, or am I just fucking...
I'll be on that type of time, too.
I'll tell you this is a hot take. I miss being programmed, too, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I miss when somebody had taste. It was like, that's good, that's bad.
Straight up.
Dude, the algorithm should not be dictating like
Right.
taste.
No, and guess what? Like, I don't want to go have to do work to find the hits and the hot shit.
Totally.
Like, okay, now I was just talking with this about songs. It's like, in the past, the songs we heard were objectively usually the best ones.
Yeah.
They really were. Like, I went back and listened to albums that I grew up loving, right? Well, albums that had songs on there that I grew up loving. I went back for the first time like 6 months ago, and I went back and listened to the albums that these hit songs were a part of that I grew up loving. And I'm listening to the whole album for the first time now, and I'm like, there's 2 good songs on here. And it's the 2
Right.
that got promoted heavy. It's like, oh, maybe they knew what they were fucking doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Singles.
It was the singles.
But
It was
there's a
the
reason why
hits.
those were the singles.
There's
Yeah.
a reason why. Like, and this is...
Like, In the Club is a really great
Is
pop.
a
You know what I
really-
mean? Like, it might not be my favorite, but that is clearly the best pop song on that album
and
that most people will like.
And so
It's
for
great.
me, I'm like, man, nowadays what you have to do is, so I have to go sit through the whole fucking album or just look up random albums on Spotify and sift through what am I, an A&R? I'm not doing this shit.
I'm saying I need an intern to listen to music
Like,
for
this
me.
is crazy.
You know?
I miss, Rick Rubin talked about it in an interview where he was like, man, when Spotify came out, I was amped. Like, you got every song ever on your phone. And he was like, but then I realized I kind of missed being programmed to. Like,
Right.
And that is what the goal is supposed to be with the Spotify editorial playlist.
Yeah.
But a lot of that now is compromised by just numbers.
Yeah, and politics.
Yeah.
Like whoever, this and that. It's like, okay, you know, I guess let's just say Drake dropped a new song.
Right.
So he automatically
It
gets
just
a
goes
slot.
in. Yeah.
You know, and it's like he's been putting out bullshit, you know, if he has, I mean,
His whole career.
recently.
Wait.
Not his whole
It's
career.
like, holy
Hold
shit.
on,
Travis
recently.
Blood.
Inveterate hater.
He's
it's
been
It's not a
truth
bit.
is,
It's really authentic
I
and
liked
sincere.
him back in the days. I did. I met him when I was like
I
16
never liked
in
a single
Canada.
song.
I liked a lot of Drake
No,
stuff.
never. I can acknowledge that sometimes it's well written.
Oh my God.
Like the song I forget on the
Nah, man.
Beyonce, what the Incredible, I think it was
Yeah.
from that. Like I think Drake wrote that one. It's on the credits, but it
Drake
sounds
is
like
incredible, man.
And I was like, that's a good song.
Objectively,
but I like Beyonce singing it
So
way
even
more.
what you were saying about In the Club, where it's like objectively, it's this, you know, you can recognize as a great pop song. That's kind of even what I'm getting at with the miss being programmed too. It's like, yo, sometimes things. This was another tweet of mine. Sometimes things are popular because they're good.
Totally.
Yeah.
And sometimes things aren't popular because they're not good. Not all the time,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's what's going on here, everybody. Like, it's popular because it's good.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I miss when there was a more monolithic culture.
I always say
Yeah.
the streets are never wrong, right? Like the rapper that is bubbling out of each like respective city
Yeah.
is usually great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
like you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
Well, because
like,
that's before it's been tampered with.
Because everybody
Exactly.
in the city knows, and they're not gonna just like
Yeah.
let somebody just throw bullshit out, because they're ready to be like, no, you're lying about that,
Right.
type shit.
Yeah, I mean, God, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of things missing, I feel like, in music. I work at the radio station, so we hear music, every morning, all day, every day. And I've been part of these, music programming meetings, and they're like, all right, guys, there's no hits, so we're going back to play the old shit.
Right.
And that's literally what's happening.
What's even a hit nowadays, though, right? This goes back to, like, the lack of monolithic culture.
Yeah.
When there's not a monolith, right? When we're not all getting the same download, when we're not all hearing the same song at the same time and the same TV shows, it fragments society and it fragments community. And what happens is you get these mini cultures, these micro cultures, where it's like NBA Youngboy is the king of his micro culture. I might be the king of my little ecosystem here. That exists over there. That exists over there. And within that ecosystem, you can have tons of platinum songs and shit that the culture at large has never heard.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's not a hit. It's because I don't even know if that's really possible nowadays without the exception of some real wild shit. The last time we had a monolithic hit was Not Like Us, right?
Yeah.
But before that, it was The Box by Roddy Ricch.
Yeah.
And look what had to happen for Not Like Us to even become this monolithic. Look at the circumstances.
Yeah.
The two biggest rappers in the world had to get in a super public beef for us to get a hit song that used to be what Flo Rida would do.
Yeah.
From a monolithic united stamp. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. I know.
Like, that's
I've never
wild.
purchased a Flo Rida. I know
No.
every
No,
word.
but I'm saying where
You know
it's just
every
like,
word to right round.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
that's what I'm
totally.
saying. It's
Yeah,
that's crazy that in order for us to even catch this sort of like omnipresent hit as a culture, it took Kendrick and Drake beefing publicly back and forth.
Yeah, like even Taylor Swift, it's like I don't
No,
really
that
know.
it,
Like, you
it
don't
just
hear-
exists over there. Everything
Yeah.
basically exists over there now, and over there, and over there.
You're right. It's all separated.
We're all living in our own silos, so it's like really when you meet people, it's like, yo, what algorithm are you in? You know what I mean?
Totally.
That's what it is now.
No,
It's
for
fucking
real.
crazy.
And it's and it manifests in like every facet, whether it's like TV or
Everything.
politics.
And
you know?
to be honest, like I miss that. I miss when it felt like we were a shared
Unit.
culture.
Yeah.
And we all were like
Looking at the same stuff.
watching the same cable,
Yep.
Yeah.
saw the same
Yep.
shows.
We all
I didn't even
saw.
watch the Grammys this year.
Wasn't on your algorithm.
It wasn't on my algorithm. Like
Yeah.
my parents watched it.
Right.
They're like, some of your friends got Grammys. We seen them up there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay.
But isn't that fucking sad? It's like it makes everything so fragmented and just isolated. And I don't know, man. I miss that. But now I'm just trying to, focus on, again, making what I love and also understanding that it's really just about becoming the king of your ecosystem. There is no more like, there's not one throne anymore.
Exactly. No.
Every
for real.
every ecosystem has its own. Young boy sitting on the top of his
The
throne. You know what I
YNs.
mean? It's like Rod Wave is on the throne of his ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it's funny because fans will be like, "Man, how have you never heard of Russ? Or how have you never heard of this guy?" It's like, as I haven't made it to their silo yet. Like they're over here.
The crazy part is that you can still sell out Staples Center.
Oh yeah.
Within your little community,
Yeah.
like it's like you could do it
Twice,
Young
right?
Boy can do
Yeah,
it,
several.
crazy.
Yeah.
yeah. It like so
Staples,
can
Forum, Hollywood Bowl.
yeah, all that
crazy.
shit. It's like
Yeah.
you can do all that, and it's like, but if I tell somebody walking down the street like, yo, he sold out the Staples Center, they're
Like,
like,
who?
what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Right.
You know what
It's
I'm saying?
almost like, you know how like there'd be like a Mexican artist or something that
Yeah.
wouldn't cross over, and you're like, no, but they have like they've sold like 50 million CDs.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you could be sitting right
like
next to
Grupo
you.
Frontera or something.
Yeah,
like,
Grupo Frontera, yeah, like-
it's like
I'm
but
like,
now
yeah,
everyone
they're
is
number
like
one
that.
on Billboard for like 8 weeks, and you're like, where? Like you know, but they did. You
And
know?
that's what's so special about right now is that there's no reason for you to be trying to make music for the money. Because what are you trying to like that, perfect zeitgeist like collision you're trying to even capture? It doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't even, you're like chasing ghosts. You're grasping at ghosts.
Yeah.
Make the shit you fuck with, and I promise you if it's great, there's an ecosystem that's ready to support it.
Yeah.
And that's all that
Absolutely.
matters. Like I have maybe heard 2 Rod Wave songs from top to bottom. I've maybe heard 1 Young Boy song. I've maybe heard
one?
2, but it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
'Cause
I love Control.
But it doesn't matter because I respect like I'm such big admirers of
Right.
their
Yeah.
of
What they
what
built.
they've
the
built.
hustle, what they're doing.
And it just
Same.
goes to show it doesn't fucking matter if I've heard their shit or not. What the like they're crushing. They're just like it's always strange when people try to dismiss your career and your success because like, yeah, but who listens to that? Everyone inside of here.
Yeah.
That's who. You're just not inside of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me not listening to Youngboy doesn't diminish his success.
No.
But people think the world like revolves around them, and if I haven't heard it, then no one's heard it. And if I don't like it, the audience is wrong. It's like, what? Who are you?